Jerusalem, and to give everyone an opportunity to express themselves and to be heard, and for people to hear also. And you know, we're in the tshuva season right now, and expressing ourselves, providing that part of ourselves that makes us us, and giving that to the world is part of tshuva. It's part of the tshuva process. So hopefully a lot of tshuva will happen tonight. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Well, anything else?
Maybe talk
Like
about
the tickets. So whoever hasn't paid, basically the way it works is it's 25 shekel, and then if you buy one of Erez's books, you get the money back, kind of thing. Because we really like Erez's books, so it's worth it. If you're not going to buy one of his books, you can get pretty much anything in the store, and you'll get 15% off it, which is a pretty sweet deal. Regardless. Except for Machzors. So, yeah. So for all the people who came tonight thinking they'd get 15% off of Machzor. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna get started. Right. First of all, Erez, can you stand? So this event, I don't know if has anyone heard of the Light of Infinite Festival kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the person who does that is Erez. So Erez, you want to come up? Say hi. Alright, okay, fine. So we're doing the event with him, and then Danielle is going to be hosting tonight. I will just say, on a personal level, I'm the one putting together the lineup. I'm going to do the best to make everyone happy. It's not going to be possible to make everyone 100% happy, but we're shooting for 80%, okay? Cool. So
I get the 79.
There's 20%, he's on them.
If we're already 85% happy, should we stay or?
He's gonna tell me before every person who they are. Ellie Goldsmith's gonna speak.
and then I'm just gonna.
All right, we got a rabbi coming up here. His name is Rabbi Ellie Goldsmith.
The Midnight Rabbi.
The Midnight Rabbi. I don't know what that means. Is that him?
Can be any
Okay, that's him. Okay. He's got some words to share.
Nice skills. Word up. Hey, thank you so much. Pomeranz bookstore. You should be blessed, and everyone here. Wonderful things, especially the light of Erez Safar. It's a big honor to join the Light of Infinite Festival all these years. I've had the merit, and we're going to just speak in a short about the importance of soul and how it connects into this infinite light that we're all part of, and how that can empower us to really do what we're here for. Because this is the time of year where we've got to think about our mission, our purpose. If we tune into the fact that we have a purpose, then we're all going to be blessed with a beautiful year and a beautiful life. Because now we're in flow with what the creation's about and what our whole life and everything is about. My personal blessing was I first heard of Erez in Or Sameach days, so we have that original connection, and I'm actually here with one of my fellow Or Sameach alumni. He brought me here. Big shout out to Shirat David, a frat community. A lot of light coming out of the frat right now. And a big shout out also to a rabbi sitting in front of me, Moshe Gersh, who I believe could bring a lot of light to the world, just like Erez is doing. And all these special souls. And what I always say, I was just speaking at Bnei Akiva world, it's called a Mechina program, about intimacy. It was this interesting concept, unity, flow, focus. But the idea was that every one of them, I said to them, and I said it the same thing when I was in London, we were talking about being proactive in intimacy and life. I asked them all to really think about how they can bring more to their relationships and our sphere of influence. Everyone has their own little circle, and maybe it's bigger than some in an external sense, but on a panemius sense, and an inner sense, once we tune into the light of the neshama, of the soul, and the fact that we're all united on an inner level, we're all one neshama, so then we have the ability to influence the whole world on a deep level, and not just the whole world, all the history of souls that have ever been in humanity. We're at the point right now, Achis Gracious, we're at the end of days. We have the power right now to fix all of creation. We are the purpose. The whole world was created, and all of history was created for our generation. We're standing or sitting in Yerushalayim right now, in the holiest city in the world, and we shouldn't allow ourselves to feel small or less. We should tune in to this unbelievable power that each of us have in getting the light of our soul and our inner essence to our everyday reality, including our relationships, including our business, including everything we have to do. And that's the whole point. The video of Yom Kippur, we're a few days away. If you look at it in a true way, in a light way, a way of soul, you understand that you want to connect every part of your being and every moment of your life to meaning and purpose as much as possible. And on Yom Kippur, it gives us an opportunity to just cleanse ourselves and remind ourselves that we're here for a very deep mission, and it's something beautiful and wonderful and beloved by our Creator, and on the soul level it's beloved by each of us. We're all really cheering each other on in a deep way. We're cheering on Erez, we're cheering on everyone here, everyone who's doing their special mission. And that's my blessing as we begin this process of Erez being in the Holy Land. It's not a small thing when a soul comes all the way from Los Angeles and he comes to share his unique light, that we should honor that these 3 weeks, I believe, and we should give it the time and share it. And with God's help, we'll be able to see a lot of blessing for each other, whoever joins in this special time period. This is the holiest time of the year, the holiest day of the year is coming up, and I believe these are the holiest souls of history gathering together to make the world a better place. And I feel honored that we get to do this. So everyone, just keep sharing a lot of love and light. Feel strong about who you are and what your message is, and be proud. It doesn't have to be only through socials. It can just be how you are, just how you carry yourself in every way. And I bless you all that as a Kohen and someone who's made the journey together with these beautiful souls of Tshuva, that we should all have a Gemach Simchat Tova. And as this time goes on, we're going to just get more and more joyous. We got Sukkot, we got some beautiful festivals coming up in terms of what Erez is bringing, but also as a community in the Holy Land, such an opportunity, such special days. Let's enjoy every moment and tune in to the fact that we are gathered together as souls and appreciate that wonderful depth. Amen.
Amen.
Introducing our next act. His name is Yosef Daniel. He's going to be performing some music.
That's your best
Yes. It's the vibe, because we're in the library, so. Okay. Let's just set up the mic.
Hold
on. Here for a second.
Set up the mic.
Okay, I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. And
Double time.
Why quick?
so I thought about what song I would perform, and there's a special time that we're in now, like Midnight Rabbi said, and we're coming to a day where we receive atonement for the entire year. And it's a concept that might be difficult for some, at least for me, to grasp at times. And I think it's about surrendering to Hashem, just letting it go. So this is called Surrender. There's nowhere else to turn, there's nowhere else to run. And when I need to hide, I see your face, it's so divine. The darkest clouds are gone, my emunah is strong. I know you are my Abba, and you watch me from above. So I surrender all. You hear me when I call. You lift my head up high. My dreams become your never were. And I surrender all. I'm answering your call. I'm broken, but you catch me when I feel I'm gonna fall. So I surrender all. My pride became my fall. I suffered through it all. I called out your name and you came and took me home. And that's why I sing to you. Forever you're my king. Forever you're my own, so I surrender all. And I surrender all. You hear me when I go. I'm broken, but you catch me when I feel I'm gonna fall. And I surrender all. I'm answering your call. I'm broken, but you catch me when I feel I'm gonna fall. So I surrender all. Thank you so much. I want to say something really quick. Erez is a legend, I mean, in my eyes, and I'm sure that everybody's getting to know him as an author, but as a musician, Erez started a movement called Champ Speed, like many years ago, and he definitely like pushed a lot of musicians and did a lot, and I think Jewish music is what it is now because of his efforts. So as avid readers, you know, may you experience that beautiful light of the infinite, and B'ezrat Hashem, you should continue to go up, and your mother should experience Aliyah and her neshama. All the best to everybody. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
You should just stay. I know I should. Hey guys, next up we've got another musician.
To whatever
Can you believe
extent possible.
His name is Jonah James, short for JJ, long for JJ. There we go. He likes folk music. Woo.
What's going on? My name is Jonah. I like making music, so hopefully you enjoy.
We like music.
This is a song I wrote called Kingdom. and it's mostly about Shia, other stuff. So yeah,
And other stuff.
Great title.
Heaven's a radiance, holding a stadium, but the tickets are lost and there's nothing to watch. I fly far away to my island full of caves, but there's nothing to fear because the time is so near. I want to know how I could change the whole world so it feels turn gold. The lamb will lie with the wolf and the forest all sing. They clap their hands in unity and the war stream forth. Forever your kingdom in this world. Heaven's a radiance, you're holding a stadium, but the tickets are bought and there's nothing to watch. The light just slips away behind the cavalcade, but there's nothing to fear cause the time is so near. I wanna know how I can change the whole world so the fields turn gold. The lamb will lie with the wolf and the forest all sing. Clap their hands in unity and your words stream forth. Forever your kingdom in this world. I wanna know how I can change the whole world so the fields turn gold. And the lamb will lie with the wolf and the forests all sing. Clap their hands in unity and your words stream forth. Forever your kingdom in this world. Is everyone or?
Yeah! Another one!
Thanks for the support, guys.
It was beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's a song from an EP I put out recently called Behind the Barn. So, yeah, it goes like this.
Woo!
Never had dreams where I could fly. Jumped off the porch, then I realized I sold my long palace I'll ever make. Cause everyone knows and everyone grins. There's never a man can shed his skin. Another moonlight wants to shine across her daydream. Calling the Lord in the yard. Dogs chase the shade behind the barn. Birds fly towards the naked north. And I lost my only sense of home. If you had keys that you make it high. To climb a mountain or just scale ice. To open all the castles I've been guarding. Better I find a place to sleep at night to stare at my aging dreams. It's a painting of the holiest gone lonely. Calling the Lord in the outer darks, chase the shape behind the barn. Birds fly towards the naked north. I lost my only sense of home.
Wow. If his music doesn't bring Mashiach, I don't know what will. Thank you. Calling on New York Times bestseller, Rav Moshe Gerst.
For the sake of truth, that's not true.
Wall Street Journal.
But amen.
Hey.
It's almost true.
They will be true. We have to manifest.
It's on the way.
There we go.
Isn't this amazing? Thursday night. Could be anywhere. And we're all here. And we have to thank Erez for putting this together. And Eitan and Nachum for hosting this beautiful event. Really special. I like looking at all the children's book titles. When you're speaking to kids, you don't hold back. You just tell them what you're talking about. Secrets in Disguise, The Tunnel of Time. They're just telling you what life is. There's one book there that says, Guess How Much I Love You. Good one. I think that's the energy of the time we're in right now. So we got to remember. We look up, we look out, we look in. Remember, guess how much we're loved. So maybe just a few words. The Alexander Rebbe says that there's a mitzvah, an idea that we should remember Mount Sinai every day. To remember the giving of the Torah every day. Anybody remember? I must have forgot. How do you remember something you were never at? How do you recall something you never saw? So he says that it's not just speaking about Har Sinai, but that it's speaking about the fact that every one of us in our lives has moments, Har Sinai moments, moments of clarity, moments when we know something that we can't believe we know now. And those moments shape the path. The whole path of our life are shaped by those Har Sinai moments. And during this time, we're sitting in the Aseret Simei Tshuva. Tshuva means to return, means to go back to those places. It also comes from the word shev, which means to sit. It means this is a time to stop, to sit down. That's why we have yeshivas. We have yeshivas where you go to sit. It's a place you go to stop and think about what life is, what you are, what we're doing here. We can get caught in the tunnel of time and we forget, and every now and then time stops. God stops the world for you and you get to sit and think, well, what am I doing here? And who am I? And what is life? And sometimes you don't even ask the question. Sometimes we're stopped. Life stops us. It's also a blessing. Like that, just stop.
Wow.
So I was thinking about one of my Har Sinai moments that I would share. There was a time before I looked like this and lived in this place. I am from Los Angeles and I was the singer of a rock band for many, many years. That was my life for 7 years.
And at the very end, before I made the decision to come to Israel, I was in this place of doubt. I didn't know. I had a feeling that the life and the trajectory that I was on wasn't the right trajectory. And I was in a space of trying to figure things out. So I invited a friend over for Friday night dinner, a Shabbos meal. And I was living in an apartment by myself at the time. And he was supposed to come at 7. 7 came and went. 7:10, 7:20. I went to open my front door. I thought maybe he must have missed the apartment. By 7:30, he was clearly not coming, but my door was open, and as fate would have it, as Hashem would have it, the Hashgacha had it where these people who lived right across from me, they saw my door was open, and they saw I was sitting at a table by myself, and they invited me to come and join them in their Suda. And I'd never met them before. They were my neighbors for maybe 6 months. We had, we worked at different times. I worked at night, they worked during the day. And I said, why not? So I went over there, we're sitting having a nice meal, and a few l'chaims later, it's like we're best friends, right? Nice, good, chevra, nice people. And this guy looks at me in the eye at one point in the meal and he says, I see that something's bothering you. He said, that's mighty perceptive. Yeah, I'm going through this whole thing, trying to figure out, should I stay at the band, the this, or, there's a part of me that wants to go look for this deeper meaning in life. There's deeper meaning, there's deeper truth. And he said, well, do you have a vision of what your life might look like 10 years from now? Do you know what you want? I hadn't thought about it before, but I sat and I closed my eyes. And clarity. Just started describing a vision of what life might look like 10 years from then. Oh, me and family and kids and taking them to school, and I painted a whole picture for him. Then I opened my eyes, because I closed my eyes when I'm telling him this imaginary vision of the future. And when I opened my eyes, I saw this guy's like crying. So I stopped and I said, Alex, I can sense that something's bothering you. And he said, I had that clarity too once. And then I didn't do anything about it. He said, and I'm 10 years later from that clarity, and I'm just waking up to it now. He looked at me and he said, you have to take action when something gets clear. When you have one of these moments, you have to do something, anything, just one step in the right direction. Right? Hashem rewards small steps in the right direction. He said, and every day you don't, you put another pixel, a white pixel, a black pixel, a white pixel, a black pixel, and within a very short time, the whole picture is gone. You can't remember it. We literally never had another conversation, but the man changed my life. And when you have clarity, and you have those Har Sinai moments, sometimes when you have clarity, the answer is, now's the time to act. I have to do something. Other times in life when things feel unclear, that's the time to go back and remember when things were. And to go back to those Har Sinai moments, those moments in our life. So the blessing I give to all of us is that if we're in a time in our life where things are clear, love it and run. And if things are unclear, stop, sit down, and remember. We should all be zocha.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. We are calling up number one spoken wordist in the world. Her name is Chaya Lester. God bless you.
I want to pronounce your name Daniela.
Yeah.
Yalla. Thank you so much. This is such a special gathering. How sweet, how poignant to be just with a bunch of other creative souls inspired and striving for inspiration. It's really touching. And I have so many goodies here, and I'm trying to figure out which one. So I want to start with just like an ode really to the spiritual freaks of the world, and the artists, and the dreamers, and the therapists, and the healers, and the creatives, because it's not a simple road, right? It's not a simple road. We are a special brew, we who offer soft value. Our gifts cannot be documented, can't be seen beyond calculation or notation or anything displayed on screens. I feel for you, and for me too. I feel the weight of all this weightlessness, all this whimsy, unwitness, so clumsy, flimsy, so bad for business. Dear crew, remember this. Your glory defies price tags and taglines. It has no lines. It's all circles and softness, ethereal as hell, but heaven as well. Here's a shout out to you. Keep being soft, and it's okay to be unseen, underpaid. Take these words of encouragement, intangible though they may be, because in the early morning and the blurry mirror and our hearts hurting most ember chambers, they are worth millions beyond mention. Your light defies calculation, but shines no less blatant. 13.
Yes.
13 spiritual fruits. So, use some more words about being a spiritual striver. To be a spirit is to be a ladder, to climb and yet to root, to court the heights and yet to cake the boots with the earthly truth of mud and drudge. To get messy in this mundane maze where every mess can be messianic. Your mission is to be a mansion built of brick and mortar and yet to know the immortal order that daily forms your base. From basement to spine to highest spire, your job is to inspire the lower to love the higher. And you, lucky you get to be the ritualist that bridges the distances, that weds them in a holy matrimony of paradoxical grace. Be the quiet vine that climbs to the heights with roots entwined in the depths. Become adept at spanning that massive stretch with the long, steady stretch of your breath. And yet, though you be an ambassador of spirit, do not give in to the sin of spiritual escapism, but rather befriend each wretched inch of this embodiment. Confer compassion upon the broken, listen more than preach, reach inward when outer walls are breached, be a docent of the insides, sometimes eulogize long-lost truths and burnt trees, weave in the ancient wisdom with the latest science, speak up for the value of silence, teach the world the spiritual technology of how to see the unseen, how to sanctify, how to dream. Your task to be a diplomat of higher truth in a world wired to be wildly confused. Yes, insist upon ascension, but do not resist the dungeons. Become accustomed to praying with your feet. Seek reconciliation, preach autonomy, be a contradiction, heal with wisdom, be a ladder full of reach. Feeling like a ladder, raise your hand. You feeling like a ladder? Yeah, stretch out, breathe a little bit. We all ladders. Okay, this is a fun little quickie for Yom Kippur. Because right, Yom Kippur is here we come in. We're going to put on the white. We're going to, right, it's all about moving from the red to the white, right? We know about the temple and the red thread that turns white. So this is called White Inside. It's kind of fun. Sitting by my teacher, peeling the apple which I'd retrieved her, she said, "Thank you, my dear, for this Macintosh red." I said, "No, ma'am, it's white." "White what?" she said. "White apple, there inside your hand." "Well, apples aren't white, my dear, now understand. Yellow, gold, or red to be precise. All sorts of shades, but never white." "Yes, white," said I, without batting eye. "Will you insist on such silliness?" she roared. "To the corner with your insolence!" And in came the principal, the rabbi, and the president, and they passed judgment once again. "The apple's red, not white, we win!" And father was called in, quick to see what insolence, what nonsense does his daughter breed. Psychologists and farmers, too, said in truth, the fruit is more rouge. A great debate within the room. What virus had my sight consumed? And when finally they came to ask me why, I simply cried, "It's white inside."
Wow.
Go for the inside, my friends. The day of at-one-ment is upon us. Go for the insides. Okay, so this is a little story, and I'll end with this, but it's a fun one. So X number of years ago, I was all kvetchy in the back of a taxi, and it was hot, and I don't think that there was air conditioning, and there was a lot of traffic, and right, you've had those moments where everything just kind of totally sucks, and you're sweaty and pissed off about it. And there I was in the back of the taxi when all of a sudden, I kind of breathed. I kind of did some nice emotional regulation, took some breaths. I was like, wait a second, you know what? I had this insight. My soul has been waiting 2,000 years to be stuck in a traffic jam of a repopulated Yerushalayim Yer HaKodesh. Wait a second, yo. Wait a second. My soul has been waiting 2,000 years for this particular sweaty, pissy traffic jam. And my mood changed. And at that moment, so beautifully, a song came on the radio. And I parted from pop culture quite a while ago, but there I was in this taxi listening to this song. And this woman was singing, "Let's hear it for New York, New York." I was like, whoa. What is this song about? This woman has captured the spirit of New York City and metabolized it through her system and pushed out this beautiful song that captured New York. And I started crying there in the back. Very emotional day. I started crying there in the back of the taxi because I was like, God Almighty, if I could just, please God, please God, please God, write a poem for Jerusalem the way this woman wrote a song for New York, Dayenu. That's all I want to do is write a poem for Jerusalem the way this woman did for New York City. And I, thank God, eventually got out of the taxi. I came home and had a big cup of coffee. And I Googled this song, "Let's Hear It for New York." And I found it. This Alicia Keys woman, and she's singing, and it's exquisite, and it's a download from God. And I'm like, wow, I want to write a poem. And I pushed out this perfect booba of a poem. Just from that, you know how it is, all you creatives, when you got the tears going and the inspiration and the Alicia Keys in the background. And out came this booba of a poem. So beautiful, my favorite ever. And that would have been enough, right? Good enough story, right? Waiting for 2,000 years, right? Taxi ride, the poem, great. But that was not the end of the story, my friends, because X number of months later, I got a phone call out of who knows where in the ether. "Hi, I'm Alicia Keys' manager, and we hear that you do spiritual journeys in the land of Israel, and Alicia's doing a world tour. And at the end of her world tour, true story, y'all, the end of her world tour, she's bringing her entire family to come and do a spiritual journey in the land of Israel. And it's, Alicia, she's sort of New Age, and her husband, Swizz Beats, he's Muslim, and her mother's Catholic, and her mother-in-law's Southern Baptist. And then there's me, and I'm her best friend and her manager, and I'm Jewish, right? And can you create a spiritual journey for all of that in one stretch limo?" And I was like, heck to the yeah, and almost peed in my pants, because it was such a shock. But it was not a shock, because I'd already connected with her neshama so deeply that day with the coffee and the taxi, right? And I was like, great, bring it. Sure enough, she came. We'd had the most incredible journey in the land of Israel, showing, going to all these sacred sites. I will say this little extra piece, which was, I didn't know if I wanted to have okay, backstory, just bear with me, guys. This is about prayer, okay? And this is our time right before Yom Kippur. I really did not want to have a child, but my husband wanted to have a child, and every day I was like, do we have a kid? Do we not have a kid? And I wasn't sure. And the last day of my trip with Alicia Keys, we'd go to the Banyas waterfall, and we all lie down on the ground, and they have a shaman with them, by the way. They brought a shaman with them from California for this journey, of course, because that's what you do. Okay, so we're doing this shamanic journey at the waterfall with Alicia and me and the family, and we're doing this holotropic breath work where you kind of get into an altered state of consciousness just by using your breath, right? You've done it. Raise your hand. You should. We will. And in the middle of it, and the shaman says you might have a visitation from a guide or a message or a spirit animal. So sure enough, who should be my spirit animal is the Rebbe, apparently, which I did not know. But the Bavitcher Rebbe showed up right there at the Banyas in my imagination and said, please, we were not able to have a child, and please have a child and name it after my father. I was like, wow, okay. So I came back to Hill and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Sure enough, we got pregnant. Boy, named it after the Rebbe's father, and me and Alicia and her Jewish manager, we all had baby boys at the same time.
Oh my God.
Look it up, Google, it's true. So I want to share with you the poem, and I want to share it with the blessing that we should have extraordinary occurrences this year. And we should have a lot of extraordinarily ordinary occurrences that are also just bring us into the inner chamber through the ordinary as well, but also it would be nice to have some extraordinary. Bless us with that. So this is the poem, and then I'll end. And this is the poem I wrote, and I shared it with Alicia, and she really loved it. So this is what it means to be a Jew. Who knew that Judaism was ancient and yet progressive, mystical, intellectual, and impressive, grounded yet elevating, paradoxical and penetrating? Suddenly, I'm plumbing depths and thumbing through texts that have been thumbed and plumbed for generations past and more to come, living the return of Judah's long-lost children, so far gone, so far hidden, now come home to the old books of our own venerable tradition. Ready and willing to kiss these white stones and make a home in Yerushalayim's now revived old bones, clamoring with higher calling, cleaving to deeper meaning, shining with persistence in a 3,000-year-old commitment. Commitment to the Torah, to something more than the mores and the norms of the Western world with her hordes of the immoral and the impure, committed to something more than a Manhattan latte and a pumped-up paycheck to provide for the family that might smile wide for the cameras, but weeps inside for their souls' bankrupt neshamas, famished for a richer truth than the loose change of material gain, famished for the fresh fruit of the live tree of Jerusalem with leaves of flames, and so let's pace ourselves with the stealth of a leopard on the chase of the truth like a gazelle. Through the hills of Yehuda and tomes of Gemara we come to know so well, with a fire hotter than 1,000 degrees from the cool ivy leagues. Our ivy climbs the western wall, y'all, a beanstalk tall, y'all, to which we cleave. We have returned to these streets to breathe these books, all these books, to dream these dreams. If Torah is a tree of life, let us gladly change our lives that we might sit amongst her leaves and read. So come and sit and read amongst Jerusalem's leaves and dream.
Wow, thank you, Chaya. Who wants Chaya to be their best friend? Right?
Wife?
Daniela.
Yeah, wife or wife. So now I'm going to call on the man himself, the man who put this together. He is the source of all of this. His name is Erez. Woo! Love you, Erez.
Thank you all for coming here. Thank you for being a part of it, everybody who's a part of it, and everybody who came on. Pomeranz contacted me, Eitan specifically is over there, contacted me on Instagram to have my books here, and I was like super excited. Didn't think it was gonna end up being like a whole event here. I just landed last night, so this is like amazing to just jump right into this. So I'll give a little background on the books. This is the first one. It's called The Genesis of Light, and we're about to go back into Blashit, so you can pick that up here. And I think Eitan mentioned if you paid to come in, you can trade it for a book and you get your money back or something. So you can get that. I'll just give a little background. My ex-wife, her mom passed away, and I wrote a Dvar Torah in her memory for the Aliyah Neshama, and I shared it with my chavruta. And I remember he was like, this is so beautiful what you wrote about your mom. And I'm like, no, this is about my ex-wife's mom. And he's like, why did you get divorced? This is crazy. But she was just such a light and such an amazing, she had 11 kids, and she was a big influence on me. And unfortunately, not long after that, my mom passed away. So at that point, I decided for 2 years I would just write, and just continue. And I didn't know it was going to be a book. I just started a WhatsApp and I was sharing it. Daniela actually would be passing out these Torah Wellsprings pamphlets in like 20 shows in LA and asked me, she's like, I'd love to distribute your Dvar Torahs. And I was like, okay, I guess I could print them out as like a pamphlet. Hooks me up with a printer. And then those got passed around. Everything was just kind of organic. And then there was a WhatsApp. One of my friends left the WhatsApp. So I was like, why'd you leave my WhatsApp? You could just mute it. And then, and she told me, I have a bunch of kids. I don't have time to read anything, you know? 1 second. So she's like, you should do audio. I'm like, okay, but I have major fear of public speaking, and even doing audio or video, like,
frightens me. But I decided I would do audio. And then after that, I realized it was kind of a book. And another person in the WhatsApp's like, I think this might be 5 books. So that's kind of how it developed into these 5 books. But yeah, this is the one that we're in now. It's called Emanations of Illumination. And it's fun writing each introduction to the books, because this one I kind of like focused on, like, okay, I'm on the 5th and final book. And it's been an interesting journey because, like, avoiding public speaking my whole life, it's not the most fun thing, but it was fine. Like, I didn't feel like I needed to. But after writing books, it's like you can't not speak. Moshe could tell you that. We did a thing in LA, and I think he remembers how nervous I was speaking like that. But so I kind of wrote about the journey, and I mean, one of the things I really saw throughout this journey, I kind of had every Wednesday was my deadline for this Dvar Torah for that week. And I always wanted it to be 8 pages, and I wanted it to be like better than it was the last week. So there's a lot of pressure. And sometimes it would be Monday night and I still haven't written anything. And we view ourselves like so limited sometimes, and you get like really stressed and you think you can't do it. But, I had committed to this thing, and by the time Wednesday, I don't know, like Tuesday and Wednesday it would just like flow. And you just realize, like, when the limitless Hashem, like the infinite, the light of infinite, and it's just limited. It's just limitless, and like in that I got to see that it's like, okay, we view ourselves in this way, but when you tap into that emunah, when you make that commitment, you can like watch it just flow, and it's incredible. So yeah, just talking about this fear of public speaking while I'm speaking. There's one pasuk, Esh tamid tukad al mizbeach lo tichbeh. So it's this constant fire that shouldn't be extinguished. And there's this teaching of the Alter Rebbe that he brings from the Baal Shem Tov, and he says that it's not do not extinguish, but it's extinguish the no. So he switches the order, and that was like super powerful, because what I realized was every single time that I would say no for public speaking, I was making this ball of fear like bigger and bigger until the point that I couldn't even try to tackle it. But extinguishing that no, it's like then you start to see it get a lot smaller, and you like realize, okay, I could do this, and if somebody keeps asking you, then they're probably seeing something that you should be sharing. So that was kind of like the motivation for that. I'm going to share a couple poems.
Yeah.
This one, yeah, poetry. This one I wrote 2 weeks before my mom passed, and I remember it was 3 a.m. I was in Maryland at my sister's, and I couldn't like read it to my mom because it was kind of telling. So I sent it to my sister, like texted her. I think she was up at like 2 or 3 also, and then I got this call. Then I went back like a week later, and then she calls and she's like, Ima is not going to make it. Like she probably won't make it even if you fly back, but you have to come now. And she was totally like not communicating, not drinking, like nothing. And I remember I was freaking out, and I'm like, okay, I need to come back right away. I'm like switching my schedule with my kids, like custody, and my mom and our favorite artist is Idan Reichel, and we've been in touch like through text. We've done some shows together, but this was like a long time ago, and he has like 8 numbers or something. So I call one of them, and he picks up, and I'm like, hey, this is Erez, and he's like, Erez, is it Erez? And I'm like, Erez, like we did shows. He's like, Erez, okay. And then I basically tell him, I was like, my mom's like, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time, and my mom loves your music, like maybe you can, I don't know, just say a video like, Erez is on his way or whatever. And I don't even know how he did it within that time, but like literally within a couple minutes I had a video, and he said, Frida, Erez is on his way. And then he just starts singing Mama Kim. And then after we love you, and love from the Holy Land and all that stuff. And I cried. And my uncle played this for my mom, who was not, like no sign of life basically at that point. And she like grabbed his hand and squeezed his hand, and he called me. He's like, you don't understand, this is like the first sign of anything for so long. And I flew back and, I played her that and I read her this poem. And she passed a few hours after that. A love untainted, I expected nothing. Given everything, nursed into existence. I followed you around the world, every bit of art inspired by your family. Exiled for thousands of years. Eyes on the Holy Land showed me about your love in my little hand. I'm crying as I realize soon I can't reach out, at least not in this world. But the bits you left, I'll pick them up till there's nothing left. Put it in my art, set it free. Now it's you and me, and the person who sees, feels, knows that it's real. So my friend Dylan was putting together a short story event, which kind of inspired me to add like short stories to this event that I'm doing, that I've been doing for quite a while now. So I decided I would write a poem in 3 parts, because he's like, a story needs a beginning, middle, and end. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it as a poem. I woke up one day, and she was dead. My mom gone, just like that. All these thoughts racing through my head. The one person whose love to me was unconditional. Things fall apart, but I wasn't ready for that to start. I built it up so tall, never stopped to think of the fall. Down, down, down. What pieces were left? What piece am I left? Did I transform this sadness into something else? Or did I just sweep it away for another day, a month, a year? Time is a figment of a fractured world, and mine was just that. If words create these worlds of ours, I fixed mine through them. I dreamt mine to them. I found her, again. And now I see her through every response these words receive. It felt like a reprieve, but now feels like a way to receive her through the mirrors that we all are. Angels don't die. They multiply. I was never good at math, but I could see the infinite in the love this love sent. Part 2. A mirror. Was it broken? I couldn't see clear. It was clouded, abstracted with fear. I rode that wave, a smooth, familiar feeling, like a feeding for easy. Stunted growth, a rest stop on the exhausting path towards elevation. The price, ephemeral dopamine hits, but never elation. Fear fosters comfort in a weird way, but it was time to feel all the real, all the divine decrees to a freer me. I would channel it, stepping into a self-appointed role, one to inspire us all, to release this obsessive control. Learning all the ancient Jewish mystics and Kabbalah, so you won't have to, spreading it on toast, so that it might satiate even the furthest ones the most. A return to what truly is, not the layers fueled by fear, but the transparent, the space that truth went. Concealed in plain sight, while being the only thing real in this stage fight. Part 3. My little gloves in this ring, it felt silly, but also felt like a beginning. The first thought of thoughts of winning. How to write a book. I've always wanted to, but that was 20 years ago. Shouldn't these dreams slow? What will I write? I want to inspire the fire that love grows. I want to rewire the mind that doubt closed. Wow, these words are Wow, these words are waves and water, a well for the fallen. I stood upright, showing them the light that darkness brings, the melody of alchemy. This mirror wasn't so bad. I could only see the present, and even that seemed abstract. So I looked past it, ignoring the reflection, allowing the refraction. I found her there. I stopped and stared. She and every being. It was me I was seeing. We are only light. Alright, this is about the klipa. You all know about that. This shell covering your magic. If you can only see what I see, full of life that can't survive up here. The inside of you, under layers of fear. A fishbowl, a figment, one in your mind. Peel, push, feel, rush inward. Your outside is created. dig deeper to being a creation, sweet and pure as a fruit, but your shell is toughened. Peel it all away until you see it was all a trick you played. Got a couple more. This is about Dveikut to Hashem, so it's where we should be right now, leading into Yom Kippur. There's actually this pasuk in Yeshayahu that is beautiful and like very timely. And it says that you should seek Hashem where he is to be found and call on him when he is close. So of course, you know, Hashem is always close, so it's like an odd pasuk, but it brings to mind this story, this beautiful story of the Jose of Lublin, the seer of Lublin, at 6 when he was going out to do Hibodedut in the fields. And, you know, his mom thought it was beautiful, but also kind of worried, a 6-year-old out there in the forest, like, what's happening, what are they doing? And so his mom said, you know, I love that you're doing this, but what are you actually doing out there? And please be careful. And he said, I'm going there to talk to God. I feel close to God there. And she said, God is the same everywhere. And he said, yes, but I am not. And that's basically the definition of that verse. Seek Hashem when he is close. Find the sacred spaces, and you will feel close, and you'll feel that Hashem is close. There was a song I used to sing. It wasn't the one at sea, or the one thee will sing to me for the third and final. Time isn't a factor, a signature, or pattern. It's only a measure of forgotten love, like the absence of a pain that ached, at the moment just a shrug. What is this melody if not just a hug to the forgotten feelings under this rug? Sleeping them out of the day, I've swept them all away. What was this song but a cyclical way to have you stay? These memories feel real, each one a melody of a sun to your moon. Reflected potency, I've tried only to see the you in me, so I too can be a shoe on a rug of the parts of me that aren't mirrored in we. That's it. Alright, this last one. This is Avram Lowenfeld, who I haven't met yet, but I'm doing an event for the Hilula of Rabbi Nachman on October 2nd, I believe, in Tzfat with Eliyahu Prera and Yechezkel Abulafia at Mayim Chaim. So if you happen to be there, come through. We're doing a barbecue and a whole food bringing type thing. What's that?
I'll try.
Please. So hopefully I'll meet Avram Lowenthal then. He sent me this necklace, and it's the upper and lower Hey in Hashem's name. And I love it because it's basically this spiritual state where you're only in the state of giving and have no need to receive. And then the lower one is the one that we need to sort of battle, which is, you know, this desire to maybe take or a concentration on receiving. And because of that, that one is hollow, and we need to transform and elevate towards the top one where we're full. Don't trip on the finite minutia. Don't take ad nauseum. Just give, love, live. The world is infinite and gives to the giving, loves the truly living, and shines light on the ones who create space for it. And this last one's called Kabbalah of She. I've aligned with the lines of the universe, drew circles around perception, pushing past the constant blast of concealment, the godly soul found within. I found her, out of sin, a sun that shined clarity on the abstract. One turn back, and I was and will be godly as she. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Erez. Thank you, Erez. All right, we're gonna keep moving on. So we've got Courageous Chicken, otherwise known as Jared Bernstein. His art exists inside of you. You'll see what I mean. And we're gonna pass these out. Get a copy. Oh, and also, disclaimer: he's not promoting his book. So.
It's just a side effect.
The book Courageous Chicken was born out of going back. Going back. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Better? How's that? Yeah. I can't do that. This book was born out of a lifetime of wanting to be creative and going back into my childhood and confronting fear and self-esteem and self-esteem images, self-esteem issues, and also it confronts anxiety and stuff like that from my childhood. That's what this book's about. This book's also really about balancing fear with courage in my day-to-day life. So I'm going to read something to you. It's called Regression. These paintings are gigantic, but it's called Regression.
What page is it on?
Page 34. Page 34. My memories are blurry, snow flurries, topsy-turvy. When it's scary, I cock back and throw a Hail Mary and act silly like a little kitty. Getting all giddy, my thoughts nearly willy. Straight lines turn squiggly. When I get mad, my nose gets red like little Miss Piggy. I start acting all wiggy, just a itty-bitty. Actually, I dilly-dally daily, but really, ideally, no time to wallow in self-pity. Deep in the nitty-gritty, belted out my little ditty to the point my forehead's sweaty. Oh, sweetie, let's make a transition without imposition to reach a decision. In a fury, I bum-rushed the jury, and in theory, presented my query, my voice impeccably cheery. Speaking crystal clearly, just stated it merely. Sorry, I said, I'm in a huge hurry to tarry. When I worry, I scurry. I'm weary when I'm harried. I have a secret box where all my fears are buried. Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to read another poem. Which one should we read? It's about page 61. What about the book? The painting is called Psychosomatic. The first painting was called Regression. As I was saying, like most of this book is really going back through my life to my childhood and going back and confronting and dealing with and reconciling and balancing certain things that happened in my life so that I could have a more balanced life. My life was mainly like fear on this side, like woof, like this, and the courage down here. So I've spent my whole life trying to go like this to bring the courage and the fear more balance in my life. Sometimes it gets a little bit out of whack, but I did this book to put myself, not to put myself back into check, but it's helped me put myself back in more of a balance. Psychosomatic. My thoughts are frenetic, kinetic, fantastic, like an addict on automatic. I just gotta have it. A neurotic fanatic. It's escapable and I'm ecstatic. Autodidactic, changing my ways to autocratic. Enigmatic. My fear is palpable. I'm capable and culpable. My appetite is insatiable. Sounds drastic, dramatic. I'm flexible like elastic. Durable like plastic. It's an old adage. Remove the bandage of bondage. My baggage. I'm no longer a hostage. Lifted my chin and walked out of the carnage. I'm acrobatic and dynamic. Melodramatic. I appreciate the climate, but this is anticlimactic. All my symptoms are symptomatic. Psychosomatic. This one's not in the book. I want to throw a little surprise in there. This is a poem I wrote on the train over here tonight to come, to come do this. No, that's not true. I have an inkling I'm overthinking, capsized and sinking, clinging to an ego that's rapidly shrinking. A simple earthling pondering the question, what's life's meaning? Seeing is believing, but it's deceiving. Can I trust my feelings? I don't know, but it sounds appealing. My ears are ringing, my smile's beaming, reveling and revealing in self-healing. My love is lingering, rendering a new beginning, begging for a happy ending. Let's stop pretending there's a way of winning. I'll go the extra innings, looking for the silver lining, but it's blinding. I'm just a fool wanting, waiting. My hair is graying, thinning. I'm grinning, my head is spinning. I'm preoccupied with thoughts of sinning and all the trimmings. I'm cunning and conniving, cowardly seeming. I act like I'm strong, but I'm really a weakling, and I'm peaking. Approval seeking, people pleasing, all the while fearing I'll be denied what I'm needing. The loss has me reeling, enduring nightmares of a baby screaming, constantly scheming, claiming I'm awake, actually I'm dreaming. My heavenly Father, here's my soul for redeeming. How much more time do I have? I'm not doing my time. I have another... More time? One more. One more? Okay. Let's see what now. I'll do a long one then. I'll do a 3-pager. Okay. This is probably my favorite poem. Save it for the last. It's called Disassociation. It's in the book. It's, I don't know what page it's on, but it's in the book.
I got you.
Exactly with what am I dealing? Fearing that I'm the ultimate weakling, fledgling, withering, and that's just an inkling. I'm tinkering, rethinking, rising and sinking, having difficulty speaking. I prefer blinking. Got sent reeling, congealing, concealing and revealing, misleading through my seeing and my hearing. An illusion, disappearing, reappearing. Time for spring cleaning, developmentally still weaning, whining, undying and wearying. Under my breath I'm swearing, both fists clenching, confessing that I've learned my heavenly lesson. Everything I need is already in my possession. I have a passion for progression. It's actually an obsession. Daydreaming of a red herring. Take it at face value, or is there a deeper meaning? Oh dear, that's endearing. Endeavoring, an actor in a private screening. Admiring a cage bird singing. Finally getting back to feeling my feelings. Seize the moment like a thief caught stealing. My ears are ringing, believing, like a pig that's constantly squealing. Pain that's searing. I'm seething like a baby teething. Only God knows why I chose what I chose. My friends and my foes, when the final curtain will close. As my love grows, I'm in the throes. Cleaving, adhering, hanging onto your ear like an earring. Grieving, lost in the woods, looking for a compass to get my bearings. Dizzy and careening, searching for a clearing to do something daring. Darling, now I'm really sharing, and I'm raring, repairing. As it appears, I'm finished comparing. My destiny's nearing. My eyes are misty and tearing. Your demands are demeaning. Left me leaning. I can't stand it, so I'm kneeling. Freewheeling. Sky's the limit, but suffering has a ceiling. I planted a seed, all the crops I'm gathering and bringing. Redeeming the blessings and all the trimmings, overbrimming. Slamming all the profits I'm skimming. In this game of life, I'm not losing, but I'm not winning. Engineering the odds, barely breaking even. Repenting on my sinning. This moment marks a new beginning.
Please return the books. We are introducing the next figure. His name is Rabbi Yehuda HaKohen, as everyone should know his name. God bless you.
Hold on to it. I'm going to take this off. Thank you. Can everyone hear in the back? Yeah, we're good. All right. Hi, Pam. The truth is, when you guys called Erez up, when Daniela called Erez up, I just assumed you forgot about me. Like, I just thought you were the last speaker. And I assumed that, you know, the Kadosh Baruch Hu really wanted me to come and hear all this, because it's been a really, really powerful evening. Like, Bemet. Like, everything we've heard tonight has been super powerful. I didn't know what I was going to say coming in here, and the truth is, when I figured out what I was going to say, the Midnight Rabbi said it. So I still don't know what I'm going to say. But we're heading into Yom Kippur, right? And Rabbi Akiva, Alav Shalom, teaches us that Yom Kippur is like a mikveh in time, right? It cleanses us. And this time of year is really an experience. Like, our entire calendar is really an experience. Like, this is a consciousness building experience, like a spiral. We keep elevating and elevating and elevating, and kind of doing it better every year, B'ezrat Hashem. And you know, it's a difficult period for some people sometimes. You know, coming through the sense of separateness, the sense of judgment, the sense of scrutinizing ourselves or feeling scrutinized. And, you know, Yom Kippur is really when you realize that it's all good, that it's just like, how does Erez say it? Light of the infinite, right? It's just, or Ein Sof, it's just this ultimate reality without end that we're all a part of, and who loves us and empowers us and is pushing us forward and has really brought us here, like Be'emet, like what you said before, waiting, 2,000 years to be sitting in traffic in a cab in Jerusalem. That's real. Like, that, not only is that real, but for some reason we were all chosen to be here now, right? Like, to actually participate in this chapter of the story. That's incredible, I think. That's empowering, and to a certain extent, I think that puts a certain level of responsibility on us. Like, I think we have a certain responsibility to participate in this story as best we can, and of course I'm speaking to a room full of people who made a decision to come to this country and to actually participate, so it's like an easy crowd, right? If I was saying the same thing in, I don't know, Los Angeles, it might be a little hard. Erez, you gotta make aliyah. Right? But really, you know, Erez, last time he brought me to an event like this, it was an online event. He got a little pushback. People didn't want me to be part of the event, and kol hakavod, he brought me anyway. I was surprised when he brought me this time. I was flattered that I guess he liked it the first time, so he brought me back. But last time, you know, we made an arrangement that made everybody comfortable. I wouldn't say anything political, right? He didn't tell me that this time. I can say whatever I want politically, which means that you guys are all invited to push back. Okay, if there's something I say that people don't think is correct or don't think is fair, yeah?
You can raise your hand.
Oh, I have 3. All right, I'm sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna jump in. Listen, our Torah is nivuah. That's the truth. Our Torah is nivuah, but it's important to know how to read it. Meaning, it's not like Nostradamus. It's not just like this date this is going to happen, and on that date that's going to happen. That's not the way it works, really. You know, when we look at that, for example, we have we have Parshat Bereshit coming up, the creation of the world, right? The Torah there is not trying to teach us science, right? The Torah is not trying to teach us, like for example, just an easy example, when you see the 4 rivers that spread out from Gan Eden, right? If you follow those rivers to their source, you're not necessarily going to find Gan Eden, right? I mean, that's not what the Torah is teaching us here. It's not geography, right? The Torah is teaching us the spiritual back end of reality. Right? And even the characters we encounter, meaning Avram Avinu was obviously a real person, right? We know where he's buried. Esav was a real person. Yishmael was a real person. Yaakov and his sons were real people. But they also represent spiritual forces on the back end. Like if you guys are into, I don't know, computer programming, hey, how's it going? The code, so to speak, right? The code, these are like these spiritual forces that the Torah is showing us that shine into this world, perhaps initially through those characters, but through other forms as history progresses and advances. And what the Torah is showing us is really nivuah. Like for example, when we see Esav, we're meant to understand. It might be a little longer than that. I'm gonna. All right. When we see Esav in the Torah, it's teaching us something about Western civilization. Okay, that when we see Ishmael in the Torah, it's teaching us something about Islamic civilization. When we see the tribes of Israel, like the sons of Yaakov and their interaction, we're seeing the different forces within Am Yisrael battling it out. Just like today in Israeli society, we see the tribes of Israel battling it out. Right? Like that is a real like back end spiritual reality shining into our world through something very tangible and very real and sometimes very scary. Now, right now, what I'd like to focus on in, I assume the minute and a half I have left, is that fair? Maybe less, is the kings of Israel. Like the first 3 kings of Israel really show us our national development right now. Right? Who are the first 3 kings of Israel? Shaul, David, Shlomo, Yefet. Okay, so Shaul, what is Shaul? Shaul is Tzionut. Shaul is Zionism. What does Shaul want? He wants the unity of the Jewish people, just like Herzl. That was very important to Herzl. He wants to protect us from physical danger. He wants defense, economy, but to be kind of like an Am Kechol Amim, like to be a nation like everybody else, to have a king like everybody else. That's Shaul, Tzionut. David is like the national religious. David is a little bit scary. He's a little bit messianic. He is right. He's like the guys coming out of the Mechina Neili, right? He's like he's like a warrior. He wants the country to have a very specific Jewish flavor, Jewish character. He wants the culture to be something very specific. He wants to build a Beit HaMikdash, right? He wants to build a temple. Can David build a temple? No, David can't build a temple. Who builds the temple? Shlomo. Shlomo represents Hebrew universalism. Okay? It's like the identity of David, but facing out. Like really focusing on what are coming back to life, what us having power for the first time in 2,000 years could mean for humanity. Like where this could take history, like for everyone. That's Shlomo. How are we going to influence the rest of the world? It's not necessarily a different conception of Jewish identity from David, or a different understanding of Jewish purpose, or a different interpretation of the Torah, but it's facing outward, okay? And right now, I think a lot of what we're seeing in Israeli society is a very traumatic, very difficult, like these things are always a little bit difficult, but a difficult shift, a scary shift from Shaul to David, right? And it is scary. But the goal is for us to be what we came back to life to be. We need to be Shlomo, right? And the only way to becoming Shlomo is through David, right? We can't retreat from it. Like we have to. Now, those of us who've already been David need to maybe transition a little ahead of the camp towards Shlomo. And there's ideas of how to do that. I don't know if I want to be, with the -2 minutes I have left, I don't know if I want to be, like, throw out anything, like, specifically controversial. But I think that really there are things we need to do in order to really think about not just our liberation, which Baruch Hashem, we've been doing good. Like Zionism did a good job, but we do need to think about what's next, what comes after Zionism, what we can do to kind of acknowledge its flaws, clean up its mess, but protect its positive achievements, what we could do to really look at what's going on in front of us. This chapter of history we're in, we're all put here for a reason. We all made Aliyah for a reason, right? Like everybody, is there anyone in this room who didn't make Aliyah, who didn't decide to get on a plane and move here? A couple people, all right, fine. Some people were born here, some people haven't made the decision yet. But in reality, like we really do, and if anybody wants to see a great movie on why you should make Aliyah and what the experience is like, you can check out, where can they find your Aliyah video? No?
Kavanagh Films.
Kavanagh Films, okay. So, I think that those of us who are really already, at that point where we're looking to participate. We're looking to be characters in a story. We're not like, why'd you move here, right? How many of you have heard somebody ask you, why'd you move? Like, what'd you give up? Why'd you move? Right? We know why we moved here.
Shocking question.
We're here for a reason, but now we gotta really streamline it for ourselves. Understand, practically, what are the goals of Jewish history? What's already been accomplished? What did Zionism do? What's left to accomplish? What are the challenges ahead of us right now? And what can we do? Right? Individually, perhaps collectively. If anybody wants to talk collectively, you can approach me after. What can we do to actually be characters in the story of smashing those obstacles and advancing things forward and resolving some of the tensions here in Israeli society? Thank you for the extra time. Shana Tova.
You did injections.
Thank you, Rabbi. You make me want to make Aliyah again and again.
Keep making Aliyah.
And again. Introducing the man who runs this place, the one you can find between the bookshelves. His name is Eitan!
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Just first of all, my boss is right there, so I don't run the place. It's mostly him. I just do little things like this sometimes. So yeah, I'm gonna do a mix of rap followed by some spoken word poetry. Just as an introduction, Rav Kook writes a few times about how really when you think of prayer, we think, we go to pray, we go to the kotel, we pray, we go to synagogue to pray. But really our soul is always praying. Only when we actually stop, physically pray, is that inner prayer revealed. So what I tried to do is encapsulate some of the inner prayer that I always have in me. And I feel a little guilty because everyone came and they had sweet poems and soft music and guitar. And mine is a little more aggressive and painful, but it's no less real. So I'll start, and a lot of it was from last night, so I'm going to have to read it off my head. So I haven't memorized it yet. By the way, is everyone having a good time? I'm going through the motions, emotionally controlled by the notion of my past, explosively opposed all the people that have asked. Coping? No, I'm choking and I'm bracing for impact. Hoping against hoping I can shield them from the blast. I want to do it different, not the way that my parents did. I want to make a difference. If not, I'm an embarrassment. What I could have been, what I am, there is no comparison. Wear my inks like shackles and my pain like bandages. A wound might heal if you let it get some air, yet I cannot bear to feel anything but the Fahrenheit. Open up and try. There's no way, man, I'm terrified. Memories buzz like bees. In my eyes, they are parasites. I'm battling mediocrity, begging and pleading with my demons, please get off of me. I'm screaming but quietly so that I'm responsibly handling a lot of things that have got on top of me. Heading for a meeting with my consciousness monopoly, binding any meaning on my feeling that I got on me. Screaming but quietly so that I'm responsibly chopping every tree, hiding my mind's hypocrisy, copping to the feeling I'm an undefined anomaly, stressing and it's streaming high at terminal velocity. I'm screaming but quietly so that I'm constantly checking all the boxes that can't combat monotony. Honestly, I gotta leave. I don't know what they got in me. Begging and pleading from the deep end what you want from me. I'm screaming but quietly so that I'm responsibly drowning. Delusionally speaking, I'm having trouble breathing. When my thoughts turn to thinking, it's when my heart starts at sinking. My hands start to shake and my plans feel so fake. I'm supposed to be strong, but how much strength can I take? It's strange. Life changes at an insane rate. Inside me there's a child still, but yet I have a child that I raise. I'm trying to control my destiny, but it feels like it's too late. I'm subjected to fate. Help me, please. I can't escape.
Yeah!
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of organizing a meeting?
We wanted to do that, so we did it in the beginning.
Everyone did? A lot of new people came.
No, so there's new people. You can do it at the end.
Can I ask them the mic?
At the end.
Okay.
Wait, who's the name?
Okay, alright. You just go. Yeah, you don't need an introduction. No.
Revealed poetry. Yeah, no words. Hey everyone.
Hey.
Okay. I want to take a moment to have all of us imagine the letter Ches. Or just imagine it for 2, 3, 4 seconds. I love being around Jews. I have a very secular friend, Sam Schwab, who really needs miraculous healing. So if you could also, I don't even know his mother's name or if she has a Jewish name, but just Sam Schwab, that he should have miraculous healing.
Sam Schwab.
A very secular Yid in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Okay. All right. So I'm drawing down letters and words and rhymes. I'm doing something to play with moments and time. What has been said now has never said before. It's like opening the magic and then closing the door. I don't know what's in store. I'm finding it out at the same time as you, but something special and glimmering and sparkling always wants to come through. So what's that story? What's that rhyme? What is that wrinkle, that moment, that twist in time? What has been drawing with straight lines that we could give color? Where is it going? What does it do? What is it asking for us to come through? Okay. I'm feeling like this shell above the audience's head. So could you just imagine cracking the shell above your head? There's like some kind of film around our heads. Just imagine that it's just completely cleared. It's just clear it, whatever's there. It's been a long time to stare right here, and sometimes that can bring up our glazing, and even it can bring up some fear. So just letting that leave here. Thank you for the cleansing and clearing. Yes, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so call out a couple words, and that's going to be the next verse. Give me a couple words.
Beggars.
What?
Beggars.
Beggars.
Sugar.
Sugar.
More
Okay.
beggars.
More beggars. Okay.
Forgetting.
Okay. Okay. Beggars forgetting. They're treading water. Crushed pomegranates. Have you seen something odder? The red juice that's loose under our foot. It's It's a soft stare. It's a way. It's something that wants to open its mouth and say, "You're okay today." Whatever was yesterday and whatever came near, there's something deeper than your bones and your fear. There's something that wants to become revealed and clear. What is that today? And maybe yesterday you felt like you made a mistake, but just take off the M and get take it back. Why did you not cut yourself any slack? Why did you not give yourself any grain? Why did you not think that there was something in Hashem's name that didn't allow you to maintain the person that's brought down in you, your heart, your bones, your brain? Did you think that this was a game? It's so much better than that. But it's all of the playfulness too. Thank you for your smiles because it brings joy through. So what else does this poem want to do? What else is at stake? What else wants to get made? Do we have any more lemons? Do we have an umbrella for shade? Anything else that wants to get made? What are some more words? More words. Tshuva.
Movement.
Movement.
Surrender.
Surrender.
Love.
Love. Sweetest. Okay.
Confusion, soaring.
Confusion, soaring.
Fusion.
Fusion, soaring. Okay.
Too many words.
It's too many words. Okay. What wants to come through?
Take the words back, please.
How about this? If there's anything you need I'm just experimenting a little. If there's anything you need a healing for, can you just picture that in your mind right now? There's like some part of you, like maybe it's your back or your foot or your heart or your friendship, whatever it is, just take a moment to imagine that thing that you need a healing for. Maybe it's your business. Just a moment. And then, okay, quietly if you want, or louder if you need, say what is it out loud for which you need a reprieve? What is it that needs to be kneaded and turned into bread? What has been blocking up your heart and your head? What do you need to braid into challah and put in the oven instead and watch it rise and see what can my mind surmise? What wants to come through? What of this pain can be a prize? So take a moment now and what is it? What are your seeds? What's your plow? What is pulling at you now? For me it's digestion. I'm working on my digestion. Who else is working on what? If you're a little shy, that's okay. You can just keep it in your neshama's eye. That's fine. But just see how, whatever wheats of stock, whatever we feel is caught, that it's not that the going is tough or that it got fraught. It's just, it's a knot right now. Like a field that needs to get plowed. So just allow that to speak out loud in just the right way. And then you'll see that your neshama will stay and you'll find exactly what you need to get through today and this week and this year to live in abundance without fear. And the last thing I'll share is that Sukkot is almost upon us. And during Sukkot, the poems drop like manna. So I'm going to be doing a Sukkot poetry workshop series where I teach you all how to pull down these poems from Shemayim. Because they're sitting up there and they're waiting for mouths to come through. So if you would like to come to my Sukkot poetry workshop, I would love to have you. My Instagram is @RevealedPoet. Don't get excited. It's not an impressive Instagram. I don't do so much on it, but it's a good place to message me, I guess. Mostly I use WhatsApp. That's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Alright, we were going to do an intermission, but we still have a bunch more people. So I just want to say that anybody who's going to go next... One second, what?
Instagram. Oh, okay.
Okay, so Instagram, follow Pomeranz Booksellers. Is that what it is on Instagram? Pomeranz Books.
Light of Infinite.
And you can also follow Light of Infinite.
We do stuff like this
And
all the time. So.
they do stuff like this all the time. And you could also follow me. I'm going to be posting throughout the next 3 weeks for all the different events. Erez, Safar. Pick up one of my books if you need to see the spelling. My next event is in Tel Aviv with JTLV on Wednesday the 27th. And then, I believe October 2nd in Tzfat Rabbi Nachman called Perception Shift with Eliyahu Prera and Chezkel Abulafia. Then on Wednesday, I think Yitzchak Meir is going to be coming up soon. He's also performing at the Moshav Fair, right? There's a bunch of epic performers. I'm running a Light of Infinite side stage with all sorts of different performers and presenters, so come out to that. That's on October 3rd. October 5th in Nachlaot, I'm doing an all-night Hoshana Rabbah. It's going to be a full meal, wine, and a sukkah, music, Torah, the whole night. So it's going to be sunset to sunrise. That's on October 5th. And then October 9th, I'm doing a sound healing with this woman, Julia, from Origin Frequency. And I'm going to do some like Kabbalistic poetry. And then at night, at Levontin Sheva, I'm doing a hip-hop sulha. So you can check out all the events and details on lightofinfinite.com/events. Also, thank you to Yeshivat Simchat Shlomo. They're part of co-presenters in this. And big thank you again to Pomeranz for hosting this and making it happen, and for all of you for coming out. I do want to reiterate that the next people, I think we have like 7 more presenters, so we really have to keep it to the 4, maybe 6, but like 4-minute max 6, because some people have been going to like 10, and I think at this point, like, you know, I want everybody to get everybody's attention while people still have attention, and that we can, you know, go home at a good time. So anyway, thank you for presenting, and just, yeah, keep in mind the time. All right, thanks so much.
I don't know.
Next. All right, next we got Itzik on the harmonica. Go.
I didn't come prepared or anything. I wasn't really sure that I was gonna do something. But I'm a little inspired right now. I spent most of last week in Ukraine. I'm gonna try to pull for inspiration from that. That was a really incredible journey. Lots of challenging moments. I got through it. I pulled the strength together when it didn't seem like I didn't have enough. I made the best of everything, and I'm trying to use. Oh, you can. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna try to make the best of the situation as well. On my harmonica. I'm just gonna improvise whatever I'm feeling, and use what I experienced, kind of what I heard from last week. Okay.
You got this. Go.
Thanks for having me. I'm actually part of a band I forgot to mention. I don't know if we're having a performance anytime soon. It's called the Returning Light Band. I don't know how you'll find out. Maybe just if you hear the name pop up somewhere, I'll B'ezras Hashem be there, and hope to see, hope to be able to see people, and yeah, we're not well known, but
is that Ben Sion Lehr? Ben Sion Lehr?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Maybe you know.
Woo!
Ben Sion.
Yeah.
We'll be at your concert. All of us. Thank you. All right, the holiest woman you've ever seen in your life. Idon Green.
Hello everyone. How's it going? So a few parashiyot ago we read Bet Hanan, and it's about poetry. It's about singing and sharing, and it's about a vulnerable prayer. And actually the word Bet Hanan shares the same numerical value as Shira, as poetry. So this is something that I'm sharing. It's vulnerable, it's real, it's also a deep tefillah. So with that in mind also, B'ezrat Hashem, it should be for the refuah shlema, Yeshua shlema, shel Tanya bat Hoda Margalit, and Ruth bat Keren. Okay, this first poem was after I met a baby named Nachal Libi. I thought that was so beautiful. Oh God, you holy heart beat rhythmically infinite. Soulful sound beats soft. God of highest high, harden, crack, crust, create new life in glorious blaze. Harden hearts of doubt, beaten, broken down to deepest crevice, selfless severance. Only you in kindness clues reignite, spark, inspire. Open our hearts, from darkness comes light, and in light of darkness bright. God, holiest of high, protect our hearts, hold them in height. God, shield their trembling fright, tempting tempo you tame. God of whispering whim, regift me with love from the hums deep within. Thank you for resurrecting our hearts, breathing in belief. God, we drown in your divinity, my beating heartstring in seams of everlasting streams. Your heartbeat dream, Nachal Libi. Okay, the second poem is... the second poem is actually one of my favorites because it's a compilation of multiple different times of writing and feeling and just this mosaic of my soul. So, Baruch Hashem, it's called In Heart and Hand. Gift our mind the clarity to start, soak our eyes in your miraculous art. May the words spoken in sanctified whisper engulf, empower, and embrace us. May the prayers of every geula given and gone provide comfort in loss and strength in return. May the song of celestial sisters ring and rumble the gates of disconnect in grand release. God, we are so ready. Lo irara ki ata imadi, with the deepest mizmor we welcome and wait a concrete truth. We occasionally stumble and fall upon the shock and rupture so deep and familiar. There is a thunder in this land, a thunder that quakes from below but does not quiver. With love and fear, with lightning and incandescent sheer. Osem aseh bereshit, when we were loved in shadow and drawn with light, the love we forgot we were comprised of. There is thunder in this heart and in hand that will carry in the most quiet of night and welcome with warmth the most divine, designed, destined light. We long for the moment of return, the time of celebration, when the rivers and streams of consciousness dive back into the sweet split sea you parted to for our first steps to walk, to when we sink in your soil and grow in your sunlight, our seeds that soak in your splendor, that grow with your blessings, that rise higher than we can fathom. Lev tahor barali Elokim, for the chance of ani ledodi v'dodi li flutter like parparim hayinu kecholmim Torah temet. This is loving. With open palms I sing you psalms, with koach elokit, divine timing indiscreet. We long for the moment, the time of return, the time of celebration, the love we long to earn. Okay, that's that one. Wow! And this last poem, thank you all. Mamash, this is such a zechut to share it with here, with all of you. And this last poem, I was living on a kibbutz up north last year, like mamash this time, and I was on a bus down coming to Yerushalayim, looking outside the window. If there was such a thing as revelation. God, how did you make a land so magnanimous that one can find both your song and their soul in dance through shades and shapes of both mountain and tree? A land so mysterious the quiet wonder of the desert amplifies the curiosity of your creativity. How can we be so tenderly torn between the north, south, east, and west? How you scatter sparks of infinity for us to hold within the quiet palms of our hands. The moving melancholy of your melodies whispers through every shaking leaf. In your color we see sound, hear color, and experience eternity, the sweet revelation of your reality. Thank you so much.
So I'm gonna just check. Okay, we have 4 people left. I just want to make sure. Okay, hang on, maybe 5 people.
Beautiful.
Okay, 5 people. Mayor Malik, yeah. Pancho Herrenstein, Yossi Zucker, Ashriel, and Bella. If anyone else, am I leaving anyone else? Oh, of course. Right. And Shira. 6 people.
Nice.
Sorry about that. Anyone else?
Can I get up there?
It's too late. Sorry.
There's that.
It was a little bit open
I
mic.
physically cannot say no, so someone's gonna have to do
it. He extinguished the no.
I love that.
Okay. So Danielle.
Hi, my name is Shira Miriam. I'm going to be sharing the poem I wrote and my toes. Okay, let's go. Woo!
Shira!
Okay, so this poem is about a feeling of when Mashiach comes, what I think would feel like for me. Okay. And the sky was navy blue, the night was rushing through. Everything which fell apart began to renew. Dawn was fighting the dark to open a lasting spark. Who would win the battle? Oh, light started to dismantle. Here comes the sun, she hummed. Planting dreams were hatching. A second of clarity and the pain of Galus was reimagined. To be a wake-up call for us to seek our loving Father, wannabe connector. During years of ache we screamed, oh Hashem, please open my heart. Secure me in your arms. I want to let go of this burden where I think you're too far. Catch me in my chaos. I need your mercy to live on. Hold on to each crack in me. Bring love to the broken vessel I feed. Give hope to me. Though there was a shift recently, a Geula consciousness, a beautiful transformation, I'll never feel the same way. Thank you for the beauty in the wildfire mist. Now let us softly sing. There's nothing left to mourn. I let the pain overcome me for far too long. Geula, Geula, I hear a whisper. I always thought Geula to be a bang, but in fact it was a slow, slithering whisper, unfolding shorter each moment of Emunah and impacting billions one by one. They all heard a soft calling. Geula, Geula, is that my father? I've forgotten you, love. I'm coming, I'm running. Geula, Geula, the whisper was not even threatening. The light revealed herself under the darkness. Geula, Geula, oh father, how you longed far too long. Geula, Geula, I knew something was missing. The faded whisper I didn't heed to. Now teshuva I shall do. Hashem, now we are all home. Geula was spreading through the chaos all along the sacred song. Geula, Geula, call forth all the simplest Jews. From 4 corners of the earth, people joining the Kadoshim land. All I believe, I always believed, I want to believe, I believe, sings one to another. And Mashiach arrives with a smile, the sweetest, most beautiful smile, a joy all the people can feel. We dance until we feel a tap of R. We see and feel a huge breathtaking spark. Why? It's the Shekhinah resting in our circle. We bow and vow to keep dancing with Hashem. Geula, Geula. Hashem's love is finally universally felt. Can I do one more? Is it time? Okay, thank you guys.
Can I airdrop it to you?
Oh, okay, Danielle, MC, no?
Just blend it up. I want to What do you want to do? Because you have 2 names.
Well, either. Anything you feel, man.
It's my pleasure to introduce the next performer, who's so good that he has two names that he goes by. Yitzchak Meir and Meir Malik. He's a Light of Infinite Festival alum, and because I'm always bringing, it's a live stream festival that I do, and I did it for each book release, but because I'm usually, there's like 2 rooms, and every half hour there's new presenters, so I usually don't get to watch too many of them. Rabbi Simon Jacobson's was incredible, so you should go on YouTube and put in Light of the Infinite, Rabbi Simon Jacobson. It blew my mind. Meir Malik also was incredible. Just all the things that he was sharing between playing songs, and it was really amazing. I was happy I got to catch that one, and you guys get to see him live tonight. Thanks.
Thanks, brother. Man. All right, you guys. So it says, man plans and God laughs. I think the Yiddish expression is the Mensch tracht, Ebe shelacht, right? So what's going on is that Yitzchak is a big planner. He's a big Gevura guy, and he plans a lot. And man plans and God laughs, but Yitzchak teaches us to laugh with God. So I didn't, unfortunately, plan well tonight. I didn't bring a guitar, and I've never played ukulele in my life. But there was a ukulele here tonight, so I went and tuned it up. Thank you so much for your ukulele. So I just wanted to say that open mics are harder than playing on stage, and playing on the street is harder than open mics. And I haven't been in an open mic in over 10 years, and I've got butterflies. It's incredible. I've never had this feeling in so long. It's crazy. Adding on to I've never played ukulele before. So I just want to begin with a bracha. For everyone to have a Gemar Chatima Tova, Gemar Chatima Tova, just in case you didn't understand, it's two different, same, yeah. And, sometimes something really good happens to us, and we're like, it's not what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, but I'm really happy that happened to me. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the blessing I'm asking for. I'm asking Hashem to bless us with this good that is beyond our comprehension of good, because Hashem is just so beyond and knows what's best, but it also should include Kol Mishal Sabenu L'Tova, all of our heart's desires to come true for the best. Amen. Amen. So this is a song about our dream of Tikkun Sinas Chinam, fixing baseless hatred, reminding each other that we don't need to agree in order to love, and hopefully rebuilding the house of prayer for all nations. Basically make this Bakarov. Amen. Amen. Let's see how this goes again. That's right.
Come on. Hey. Go.
Sani Yehudi amiti, oh Asani Yehudi amiti, lo Charedi, lo Chiloni, Ashkenazi, oh Sfaradi, לא ליטאי ולא חסידי, שמאלני או ימני, together עשני יהודי, יהודי אמיתי, או עשני יהודי, יהודי אמיתי, גם חרדי, גם חילוני, אשכנזי וספרדי, גם ליטאי וגם חסידי, שמאלני וימני, כי רק ככה יש עוד תקווה, נתאחד לבטל את השנאה, ורק כך יבוא הגואל, נתאחד עם ישראל, כי רק ככה יש עוד תקווה, נתאחד לבטל את השנאה, ורק כך יבוא הגואל, נתאחד עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל, או עשני יהודי, יהודי אמיתי, או עשני יהודי, יהודי אמיתי, גם חרדי, גם חילוני, אשכנזי וספרדי, גם ליטאי וגם חסידי, שמאלני וימני, או כי רק ככה יש אותי תקווה, נתאחד, נבטל את השנאה, ורק כך יבוא הגואל, נתאחד עם ישראל, או כי רק ככה יש עוד תקווה, נתאחד, נבטל את השנאה, ורק כך יבוא הגואל, נתאחד עם ישראל. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you, Erez. Thank you, everyone. Pomeranz put this together. I love you all so much. Thank you for your ukulele.
Wow, thank you.
Thanks, brother.
So, what's next? Daniela? I will be first then. She's busy. My head is killing. There's apple. That's awesome. So, did you write that song?
I co-wrote it with my buddy Yochanan, yeah.
That was
We wrote it
amazing.
together.
It was so good.
All right, I'm gonna call up a person who has amazing hospitality in Crown Heights. I was at his house last time I was in Crown Heights, actually, and he just welcomes everybody in. It's incredible. Yossi Zucker, and he happens to be here, so it's amazing.
Oh, here's a guitar, right?
I yelled out I had a guitar and somebody was like, he's committed to the ukulele. I was like, alright.
Committed to nothing.
That's what they said. I was like, I have a guitar, I have a guitar.
Hopefully on my last announcement, before the announcement saying goodnight, in like 15 minutes, for those who didn't pay RV, there's going to be an RV outside.
Oh wow, so holy.
So, yeah, that's all. Okay, enjoy.
There's going to be RV outside.
Alright.
Oh! Are you going to sing the Saturday song?
Tehish Nas, pizza delicious. Popcorn delicious. Falafel delicious. Freilich delicious. Okay. Yeah, this is, I just want to thank you guys for the platform. Okay, if you guys give me permission, maybe I'll do two songs. I want to love the way you love. I want to give the way you give. I want to see the good you see, so I can easily forgive. And I know you love me. You made who I am. Whenever you leave me, you still hold my hand. I when I don't believe. Tell me, how do I love you the way you love me? 'Cause I don't want to rely upon any force that'll soon be gone. And I just want to go way beyond with you. 'Cause I know you love me, you made who I am. Whenever you leave me, you still hold my hand. I know you still love me, you won't let me be. Tell me, how do I love you the way you love me?
Yeah! What a song, bro.
Just like one more. Try to keep it to one, so I can't wait. Okay, so my ego is only up one.
But bro, that was a beautiful song. Did you write that song? Did you write that song?
Yeah, it was really nice.
So nice.
Thank you.
Look at Cat Stevens. So
Can you
good.
sing another one? You can have my...
We really got to keep it because we have like 3 more people. It's like 20 more minutes. They got to close the show. So yeah, I win.
Maxim Toyevel, Gugeben Sturm, Mashiach now, Nanach Nachman, Nachman, Yechia Melech, Kahana Chai.
Bro, that was an incredible song.
Thank you.
Is it out anywhere or something?
Like a week or two.
Oh, this was like a secret
Yeah,
thing.
please. So, like,
Alright. Partnered up with Simchat Shlama. We have Rob Levish in the building. Super special treat. He just got here. So take the mic.
Amazing to be here. Shalom, shalom. I'm just going to read a very small poem, but it's big. It's a poem about Geula. A mirage in the desert, so tempting, so untouchable, the idea of the Messiah. Reb Nosson says redemption is an inner knowing. It is unending advice on how to dance life without missing a step. Like the notes of a melody, each is needed just right. Another mirage. And it slipped through Yaakov's fingers, wanted to reveal to his children but couldn't, except he did reveal the root of inner knowing. Hikavtsu, get together in small groups just like this and speak of who we really are and what we are here for. Just this will lead our trembling feet along the labyrinth together as little by little the melody becomes audible. Yay.
Okay, next up, we have Ashriel, who I actually just met a couple months ago. Him and his wife, Mayan, run an Instagram called The Jewish Nomads and an organization called Bet Halev, I believe, in India for 6 months of the year. And I was so excited that I actually got to catch them for the couple of days that I got here before they went to India. And yeah, he's going to jump on and share.
Somebody here understand the Hebrew?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's understand Hebrew? Raise your hand. Okay, so I only write in Hebrew, so I do the introduce in English and then I say the poem in Hebrew. Okay. Thank you everybody for being here. Such a beautiful Neshamot, and we are in such a beautiful time now. Between Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, we have 10 days of grace 10 days of chesed, the 10 days of, it's called the Yamim HaNoraim. But the word Nora or Ir'ah in Hebrew, it's also attention. This is days to get attention between us and Hashem, attention for us, and just understand what we are here to do. What's the point of the whole next year? So I hope we all be into it. So I write the songs since I was very, very young, and I was writing from pain. I was writing from pain. Now do I know that I write from pain? What is the biggest pain that here in planet hurts? Do you know?
Longing?
What?
Being alone?
Loneliness. And I feel lonely for many, many years, and this is what's given me the drive to write, and I basically write that. And how do you know that this is the reason? Because after I met my wife, so I write the last song, and after that I didn't write anymore. Maybe I do it, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same channel. So I want to read for you the last song I write after I met my wife, and his name is Hollywood. Just let me find it. And it's in Hebrew, so sorry.
It's this phenomenon that happens to people when they get married.
It's amazing.
Crazy.
It's better be married than be creative. Wow. You're much more creative. Anyway, you can do both, but let's go to it. בסוף ניפול שנינו אלה יחד, נרצה או לא נרצה, כי עוד איזה ברירה יש. בעולם שבו כולם מתחילים עם כולם, אני איתך סיימתי. ואל תדאגי, זה יהיה מתיש ומפחיד ומציק ומבלבל, בדיוק כמו שמכרו לנו בהוליווד. רק הפוך ונכון, כמו שמיים מעוננים ביום חורפי וכיור מלא בכלים לעת ערב. בעולם שבו כולם מחפשים קשת בענן, אני עם זה סיימתי. ותתחילי לדאוג, יהיה לנו גם טוב, השם ישמור, ורוד כזה עם קונפטי וזווית נכונה של החיוך, ואושר כזה עם שקיעה בעיניים ובליטה בלב. בדיוק כמו שמכרו לנו בערוץ ויבה, רק נכון והפוך. בעולם שבו כולם רוצים להיות כולם, אני רוצה להיות איתך. איך? תודה רבה.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Beautiful, brother.
That was very touching.
Wow.
All right, next up we have Pashut Jabotinsky. I met him through Harry Rosenberg. And yeah, I think he's going to share some words and then play a song. We have to figure out the auxiliary real quick, so one second.
Also my Safar. Let's show the starting up. Yeah, no promotion, just happy with the same shirt.
Pashut.
That I'm wearing. Is it set up?
We got a cable?
We got the Yid.
You're a superstar.
Oh, he's like, is it set up? What do you mean? You didn't go to the stage.
He's a superstar.
We got the Yid. Hold on, I didn't start yet. Don't look at me. I'm kidding.
Here, hold on. Here, take that. Where's the water? There's 11.
Hold on. What? Second half. No, it didn't even start yet. None of this counts. But while we're setting it up, let's take a Polaroid selfie with the crowd. Circling.
Get my sprinkled donut in there.
We all want to be in this Polaroid. I want to be in this Polaroid.
Yeah, everyone just like get
I want to be in this Polaroid. 1, 2, 3, smile!
Oh my God. How are you going to print those? You need to print like 50 of them.
No, send another one.
Whoever buys the Safar will also get a Polaroid picture. So I got a few stars, I got a few...
Shake it like a Polaroid.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
It's false advertising. That's what.
Do you guys have a sitter? Do you have a sitter?
It's like a whole song.
There's like 50. Wait.
I know. It's fun. I know.
This is sick. Donuts in there.
This try it. This is how try it.
It says one thing on the back. It says, "Don't put this in your mouth." That's what it says.
That's all.
Do you read the back of that photo?
Just don't eat it.
The back.
It says the Avishter has is finna give us siyata d'shmaya. Yeah, but none of this counts because I didn't start yet. Starting. Why did the Yetzer Hara cross the road?
Why?
To get to the Sitra Achara. DJ, spin that ish. But wait, hold on, where's my ukulele?
Where is it?
Ukulele. It's okay.
Anyone see ukulele for you, but
Where's Bella? Bella, we need your ukulele.
No, I don't need it for the song.
just for the vibes. You barely need it.
I could use her. Yo, but I'm not using it for the song, but I'll use it for at a certain time. Shkaya, wow, a new ukulele. Shechianu.
How's that?
Good? What's the best part? My friend texted me. He said, what's the best part of going off the derech?
Coming back?
He said, when you wake up in the morning, you're already after Shachris. I texted him back. Hold on. I texted him back. And I said, what's the second best part about being off the derech? Get ready. After Ne'ilah on Yom Kippur, you don't have to wait around for Kiddush Levana. That's the show. I just keep on going off the dome. I'm feeling all alone. I don't know where to go, 'cause nobody knows me. Keep chilling on the throne. My crown is on the stone. Harambe with the flow. Just zombies all around me. Where on flat earth is Pasha San Diego. As kids we were force-fed dinosaur propaganda, while billionaires be buying all the lands up to engineer a famine, furthering agendas. From Assyria came Sancherib, eventually the Jesuits. I'm chilling out here in LA, reflecting on oppression. The monument is Dimension 666, obviously obelisks drip sodomy upon our kids, obliterating consciousness and obfuscating politics. Of course I didn't vote. Absquatulate the psyopsis, singing dance on Egyptian sunken pyramids, singing and dancing on Egyptian sunken chariots. I don't believe in global myths. Full stop, no caveat. I'm standing on the back of Kahana and Antelman. When I vandalized the Vatican, I also stole a magnet. I guess I'll trade it back to them for our menorah candlesticks. I am the only candidate who even understands the ish. Who even understands the ish. I just keep on going off the dome. I wrote this. I'm feeling all alone. I don't know where to go, 'cause nobody knows me. Keep chilling on the throne. My crown is on the stone. Harambe with the flow. Just zombies all around me. Wary of the ups, tired of the downs. Shares the ride, weary-eyed, blurry fight, nearly died. And every night, nearly died. And it's like every time. Every night, nearly died.
Eternal sunshine, spotless mind. Energies were then resigned to enterprise. This enterprise, there's a surging green is line. Still can't find how he's sublime. Still can't find how he's sublime. And recognize, the thing is paralyzed, paralyzed, paradise, indigenous and Israelite. All our heroes been through wicked geniuses of every time. Geniuses of every time. Geniuses of every time. For example, Juice WRLD, Mac Miller, Kelly Frazier, Yuka Pilla. Really anger is the killer. Self-awareness is the healer. Push pulls up to the 613. Y'all like shucks, this yid hungry. I don't walk from underseas. Tunnel vision, bumping beats. 1, 2, 3, come to me. Tougher than a dungery. Plunk you in a front row seat. Other genius, drum roll please. Cutthroat scene unfolding, cause none MCs as fun as me. Yes, that never been gonna see another Hebrew run this free. My company accompanies the comfort of a summer breeze. Asphalt to a rubber knee. Asphalt is just a jump for me. How about now, Winston? Asphalt is just a jump for me. Yeah! We started the evening with the Sahara crossing the road. And then we did a song that I just wrote, the first time ever performing, not even released yet. A song that I just wrote in Los Angeles, where I had the schuz to show with Erez. The schuz. And I wanted to continue the motif of traveling, telling a Maisa. So I went to Chochmei Lublin, as Erez mentioned, the Chayzes. I'm like, oh, you know, I got a sushel. So I was in Chochmei Lublin. I went to visit. Chochmei Lublin was cut down in 1939. All the books were burned in town square by the Nazis in Yimach Shemam. All that's left, it's a hotel now, Chochmei Lublin. All that's left on the outside of the building, there's a pasuk. The pasuk says, "Lechu banim shimu li." Journey, my children. Listen to me. Yiras Adonai Elam Adochem. I will teach you to see the Eibishter. Pasuk in Tehillim. I didn't know Pshat. So it's good. What do we do in Yeshiva School of Shalom? We don't know Pshat.
Pasuk Pshat.
Bleib schwer. Very good. Over here. Bleib schwer. We say we don't know. We say ich weiß nicht. We say we don't know. If we don't know, we don't know. We're not going to force an answer. So I was sitting on this question. I said, what an interesting pasuk. I don't know Pshat. The next day, I went further, right, across the border. And I was in Breslov by Rabbi Nasa. Now I'm a Kohen, so I didn't go into the Tzion, into the cemetery, but I was chilling with the Kohanim in like the Kohanim section, and there was a Kohen wearing talis tefillin, and I said, "Teach me something," and he said, "Okay, give me tzedakah." No, I'm kidding. He didn't say that. I said, "Teach me something." I said, "Deal of a lifetime. Here's a grubna," worth like 1 cent. But no. So I said, "Great, teach me something." The Yid opens up the book. He has a book of all Kisvei Rabbi Nachman, and he opens up a book, and it was about traveling. It was about Tilto and Nesiah, and unbelievable. And Rabbi Nachman says, "Now listen, you guys know I'm a Neo Misnagid, and like the reason that I mean I love Rabbi Nachman. I go to Uman every year, but where's the Mikoros? Where's the Raya? Where's the proof, right? But he showed me this piece of Rabbi Nachman. And I was right, and it said, it's unbelievable. Rabbi Nachman said that Al Yidei HaTilto VeHaNidnu VeHaNesiah Efsher L'Takein Pigam HaEmunah. You can misakein Pigam HaEmunah. So my immediate response to learning any Chassidus is Numei Chetesi. But here, even before I got to say Numei Chetesi, from where do you bring this? That pasuk in Chochmei Lublin, that's the pasuk. Lechu banim. Go, my children, is go on your journey, Shimuli, and then from the journey you will learn Yiras Hashem Elam Adochem to see the Eibishter. And so I want to just end with one shtickle about Elul that people have been talking about the Shoresh, what is tshuva. So I wanted to bring a pasuk in Shmuel. You know, I would say Shmuel Aleph, but obviously that's of the guy. I mean, there's no such thing, it's just Shmuel. You know? Hey, pasuk in Shmuel. It's a guy, what?
Come on, it's funny.
Yeah, Shkaya. Shkaya. No, Shkaya. Obviously, Shkaya. No, of course, Shkaya. The pasuk says when Shmuel was going, he was caught, right? It says Utshuvaso haramasa kisham beso. His tshuva, he came back to his house into the Ramah, because that's where his house is. People could think tshuva is becoming something I'm not. It's changing myself into becoming something I'm not. Zakt de heilige pasuk. Tshuvaso haramasa kisham beso. Tshuva is returning to who we are, to our house. We should be zaycha. I was zaycha yesterday to come back home to Erez Yisrael. We should all be zaycha to come back home to who we are. The Eivishter should give us the adishmaya to mikabel the happy day of Yom Kippur, be'ava and be'simcha.
Amen.
Amen.
And we should be zaycha to always be chilling, to always be happy, to always be coming home, always be b'tshuva. The Eibishter should, is bina, give us the adishmaya. Chag Sameach. I hope everyone has a great Yom Kippur and a great life. I only got time. Maybe in Tel Aviv.
Excellent.
Alright, so the MS is...
Oh, thank you.
The MS is...
Yeah.
That was crazy. I don't know if I can recover after
There's going to be one more person. And then
Hey,
my boss has to bring in every single box you guys saw outside before he can go home and go to sleep, so it's pretty much the end of the night.
Okay.
While there was no one at the cash register, there was a few people who they haven't had an opportunity to pay yet. So I'm going to go to the cash register now, and whoever hasn't gotten a chance, if they're able to.
How much is the book?
And RV.
So much. Arvine, I told them, and then Bella's performing, and then there's Arvine as well. So you want to introduce her?
How much is the first book?
Yo, thank you, bro.
Okay, so here's hardcover.
Hi. Excellent. You guys are great to us.
Oh, Shalik's over here?
Great.
Oh, so you can buy one actually. I have one more. Okay, so it says, life is a journey towards the promised land. So right
Bring your attention back.
Sorry.
For Bella, right?
Yeah.
And she's been lending out her ukulele, so now we get to see what she's going to do with it. Thank you guys for staying around. I know it's a lot of epic talent. Thanks so much.
Yeah, just a disclaimer. I'm going to be singing, so if someone has a thing about Kolisha, and if that's where you're holding, I really respect it. But disclaimer, I'm going to be singing. Okay? Live singing. Okay. Singing. Awesome. Warning. All right. Warning. So, I want to introduce myself. My name is Bella. I'm from Queens, New York, and I moved here when I was 17 years old. And this journey of really falling in love with the Kadosh Baruch Hu has been such an incredible and challenging and eye-opening and heart-opening journey where I learned to really appreciate the Torah and mitzvahs as a love language and in a step ladder to my highest self, to our highest self. So okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I bought this ukulele because my roommate Bina really inspired me. She has one. She's like, "Duh, just go buy yourself one." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I went to the store, and then I asked Hashem, I said, "Hashem, can you please teach me how to play this ukulele? Can you open my mind, guide my fingers?" This was 2 weeks ago, so give me Rahmanis, but thank you, Hashem. Okay. So I'm gonna find this pasuk. I could have done it during his performance. I didn't want to miss a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, I shoot 23.
It goes. Yeah, I found it.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Moda'ani. I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm so excited! I'm so excited. Okay. אדוני שבתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך, תודה רבה. מה טוב חלקנו ומה נעים גורלנו, מה יפה ירושתנו. מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים, שחזרת בנשמתי בהם לרבה אמונתך. פותח עיוורים, מתיר אסורים, זוקף כיפופים, אוהל חי נשמה שנתת בי. תורתי מודה אני לפניך מלך חי וקיים, שחזרת בי נשמתי בן רבה אמונתך. I give thanks and I give praise for all the things that I get to say. I give thanks and I give praise.
Wow, what a book.
Honestly, the small thing really gives me the shakes, you know what I mean? Wow. Thank you so much, guys. I really want to give everyone a bracha. There was a group of Hasidim that came to the Lubavitcher Rebbe and Rebbe Chaim Oshka, and I asked them, what is your favorite tefillah to pray? You know, you guys are tzaddikim, what's your favorite tefillah? And the Rebbe responded, Modani. I get the opportunity to wake up anew every single day because Hashem has faith in me. So I really give a bracha to everybody that they have a deep awareness that you're so good and you're so wanted, and the deepest light that you have inside of yourself is so welcome to this world with so much safety and love. Mamash.
Amen.
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 Thank you. I sang.
That was so amazing.
Erez, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Such a sweet voice.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. Wow. Thank you once again for coming to this. Thank you, Pomeranz.
Thank you.
And anybody who didn't pay, you could pay at the front. And I think if you buy my book, you get in for free. I don't know, you get your money back. Okay, so once again, you can follow Pomeranz Books. And then also if you want to see the next events, we're doing an event in Tel Aviv on Wednesday. And then I think there's like 8 other events. So just check out my Instagram at Erez Safar or lightofinfinite.com. All right. Mala Tov, Kamal Tov, have a most beautiful Yom Kippur, and all the Chagim. Thanks again.
Thank you, Erez.
Thank you.
Yay!